Well, I'm getting pretty familiar with this system. I'm at the Yamaha booth at Interbike. How's it going, Steve?
Very good, and very nice to meet you, Court.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. I think maybe there's been a little bit of email exchange, or you were saying like, I recognize you, and you know, I'm on these videos all the time. It's always nice to put a face with a name.
It's kind of like I know you, but it's like you don't know me, but I know you very
I know the product, and you know, it's been very popular. I think Haibike I've seen it a lot on their different models.
Yes, and so we have two partners in the U.S. We have Haibike and we have Giant, and if you're going to find the Yamaha PW series drive unit, you're going to find it in one of those two brands.
Okay.
And so that's our direction for 2017. You know, one reason we're here is certainly to support those guys here in Interbike. This is our first year with a booth.
Yeah.
And but the other thing that we wanted to do is explain our history, because it seems that's
Please.
something that the American market doesn't really understand fully, that kind of our pioneer status with the mid-drive pedal assist systems.
Okay.
Yamaha first started manufacturing these in 1993.
Oh yeah.
And so we've been doing it a long time. We're just new here. We're not new to the game. But
New to the US. Where did you start out? Where was
in Japan. So our market share, you know, very strong market share in Japan.
Cool.
And we've got over 3 million units produced during our lifetime. So
wow.
we produced,
got all the bugs worked out. Like
Definitely.
It's a pretty reliable system.
Yeah, the PW series is an evolutionary product. It's not a brand new product. It's been on the market. This is its third year.
Okay.
But it's fairly new to the U.S. market, so a lot of people perceive it as a new product.
To me, it certainly was, and I was actually really excited when there was another recognizable, a name brand competitor to Bosch, because that was like the first time I'd seen a mid-drive built so perfectly into a bike, and then you guys came along with the batteries that kind of slid to the side, and it enabled the lower step, and it's just cool. It's neat to see.
It's just a little different interpretation. I mean, you know, similar in design and feel, but they each have their own personalities, right?
Right.
And the way they feel when you ride them. You know, the Yamaha, we used a zero-cadence.
Right, like immediate start kind of thing?
Yeah.
For mountain biking, it really...
kind of unique aspect that we do, and you know, we also run conventional chain rings up front.
So you can have multiples,
You can.
right?
You can do a dual ring or single, and you know what's a unique aspect about that is kind of like, even not that you would ride the bike power off, but if you do, it feels like a bicycle, just albeit maybe a little bit heavier with the system, and so you don't get a lot of resistance.
That's a great point, because sometimes, for whatever the case may be, maybe you're riding without the battery, or maybe you just exhausted it and you've gone on a really long trip. It's nice to be able to switch down and get some of those lower gears and be able to pedal comfortably. Yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly, and so, but yeah, we're really excited. You know, we've kind of, in lack of better terms, we should done a better job of creating better awareness of our product in the U.S. And this is kind of one of our first steps.
Yeah.
And we thought it was really important that we show up at Interbike and have a presence here this year.
I didn't want to miss you guys, and I also wanted to give you a chance to share any updates, because a couple people, you know, on the YouTube video for some of the reviews are like, hey, I've heard about another motor, and maybe that's in Europe right now or something.
No, exactly right. So you will start to be hearing about a new motor, the PWX series.
Whoa.
And that was announced in Europe. It's not going to make its U.S. debut in 2017. At the earliest, it would be 2018.
Okay.
And it's more of an evolutionary product. It's
incremental improvements.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Some weight savings there. Some power improvements and things like that.
Well, to be frank, one of the big benefits of Yamaha that I've seen on the Haibike is that it's been a little bit more affordable. You know, some of those bikes are priced a little lower. If you're riding like a fat bike on the beach or something, you're like, man, my bike's going to take some abuse potentially. So we were talking about durability, being able to get into a bike like that and be like, yeah, I'm using it, I'm enjoying it, and I didn't spend $10,000 on this thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nice feeling.
No, it is, and Haibike's done a great job with the S-Duro line of offering a wide breadth of range. And you know, we have the LED controller set up on their lower price products.
Right. There's no, the display isn't there, it's just the button thing.
Correct. And it's a way to get the prices down and have those lower price points, and then you can, you know, spec it all the way up to, you know, to their really top end
The full
products.
suspension fat tire bike. I love that one, the fully fat 6 or whatever. So this, you know, I haven't seen a lot of the Giant stuff yet. This battery looks a little bit different, the display. Is this a European model that we're looking at there?
No, this is the U.S. model.
Okay.
It's destined for the U.S. market. They're going to, right now on their website, they're going to have 3 versions of the PW-driven Dirt E series.
Okay.
So they've got, this is the full E Plus, which is referred to as the One.
The One.
And it's a $5,300 retail price point. and they're going to have a version of it called the Zero, which goes up to 7,700, and then they also have a hardtail version that starts...
The -1?
And I think they just call it the Dirt E.
The Dirt E, dirty.
Full, meaning, full suspension, I suppose, but that one's going to start at 3,500.
Okay, but why does the battery look different? Like, this is different, something different about this.
Here's the big difference, and you're really keen on that. They use our drive unit only. And it's their own battery technology. And
but they're displaying everything. I want to get a close-up of this.
Right. And it does power up. And we just here.
Power it on. Whoa. Big backlit display here. Looks like we've got the same sort of eco power normal that I'm used to. It's very similar readouts.
Yeah, it's a 500-watt battery, and it's their own design. So that's the unique. That's one of the differences you'll find between Giant and Haibike is that Haibike uses our entire system, our battery, our controller, our drive unit, and where Giant is using our drive unit, and then they've built everything else around it.
Is that what's going on over here too? Because look at that cute little battery.
Yep. So this is interesting. So this is part of our history wall, trying to explain our heritage.
Walk me through it again. Yeah.
So if you go through the timeline here, we start off with our kind of DNA of world first technology being the first mass-produced center drive unit. So that began in 1993. And then you'll see the evolution of all the different drive units and where we ultimately land with the introduction of the PW series in 2013.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're currently working with in the US market. And as you notice, we have over 3 million drive units produced worldwide.
That's a lot.
And so one interesting aspect about Yamaha is that we actually produce entire bicycles for the Japanese market. And this is a representation of one of the latest models that we have.
Carbon.
The YPJR. And what you'll notice is this really cute 60-watt-hour battery.
I like that. This is like kind of out of a dream I've been having for years. It feels like something lightweight, something that is a little bit more bicycle, but you've still got the assist and just the balance, the aesthetic.
Ride it like a bike. It weighs in the low 30, I think it's 33 pounds.
Wow.
So it's easy to carry upstairs if you're living in an apartment, things like that.
Plenty of room in that triangle.
Now, granted, the range is limited given the small battery, but it's not designed to be an e-bike 100% of the time. It's designed to be a bicycle, and then you can power it up and use the e-assist when you need it.
Well, I mean, look, I only weigh like 135 pounds. I like pedaling. It's just sometimes you hit that hill, you hit the wind or whatever, and being able to even use the lower levels of assist that's huge. That's all you might need. And so this gives it to you in a really refined package.
And if you notice, you've got the dual chain ring, so you get the benefit of the dual chain ring on that side.
Get the range.
So it's just a different way of looking at the e-bike. And again, it's sold. This one's not available in the U.S. Only in Japan.
And maybe someday. I hope.
Well, our current plan is to be a kit provider in the U.S. And we have our 2 partners right now. We have Giant and Haibike, and that's kind of how we're coming in, and addressing the U.S. market.
When you say kit provider, you don't mean like aftermarket. You mean like
or full bicycles. We're just we're going to work with our brand partners, and like I said, Giant, Haibike.
Babe, I think we need to take a trip to Japan. Is that what I'm hearing?
This is my next bike.
That's your next. It's a pretty sweet bike. She's been looking at road bikes, and of course we focus on electric. I wanted to get a shot of just the motor and stuff. I'm familiar with the battery, the display. I love that it's removable, the button pad. And the USB charging, that's something that I've come to appreciate, using my phone as a GPS more frequently.
Yeah, I think features like that are becoming such commonplace. They're almost requirements now, on a lot of this. So, we just wanted to be able to show people what the system looks like. I'm going to
look at that one too? It's clear?
Yeah. So we have kind of a clear cutaway that you can see.
Wow, so those are like, is this where, that's the electromagnets and the stator, and that's what spins super fast, and then you kind of down convert it, or?
And I'm not the most technical of guys, but I do have.
Well, that's what happens. It spins fast, and they down convert it to give you torque. Motors like to run at that higher RPM for efficiency. And it's a relatively quiet system too. I mean, there's a lot to say about this system. I review these bikes, and it's tons of fun. I'll keep an eye out, of course, for the latest and greatest, but it's just wonderful to get to meet you and get a little bit of the backstory. What's the website where people can learn more about the Yamaha e-bike stuff?
So right now you do have to go to the Yamaha global website.
Okay.
And so if you do type in like Yamaha PW series drive or e-bike, it'll take you to the Yamaha global site, and you get a full download of all the details.
Excellent.
We're not tied in yet to the U.S. website, but that will happen in the near future.
We're making progress.
We're making progress.
Right.
And again, we really kind of the best way to describe it, we're on the back end working with our partners. I mean, these are giant bikes, these are
We're
high
at a
bikes.
trade show, and
Exactly.
but it's kind of cool to go behind the scenes, man.
Yeah,
So.
and we just wanted to be here and make sure that we start kind of explaining our history and heritage and where you'll find us in the U.S. market.
Excellent. I'll keep my eye out. Thank you so much, Steve.
It was great meeting you.
You too. Have a great show. Bye.
Bye.